Hi, Roger. How are you today? My name's Amy. I'm a dietetic intern.
Hi, Amy. It's nice to meet you. I'm doing okay. I'm pretty excited to be here. I'm excited to, finally get in here. I've been pretty busy lately, so.
Good. I'm glad. I hope the traffic wasn't too bad today.
Oh yeah, I deal with traffic all the time. I'm a truck driver, so I just kind of always deal with, eggheads on the road and whatever. So.
Oh, wow. So, how far do you usually drive for work?
Oh, I've been everywhere. I'm from New York, from here, but I drive all over the place. I don't really have anyone at home, so there's never really anything kind of holding me back. So, I can drive all the way from here, up to Maine, back down to like, Pennsylvania, all in like a matter of 24 hours. It's a lot, but I don't mind. It's fun, good money.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work, but I'm sure it's pretty interesting to get to go to all those different places every day.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Meet a lot of new and interesting people for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, why don't you start by telling me a little bit about why you're here today?
Sure. So, I'm 47 years old. I've kind of just dealt with, um, you know, my weight my whole life. It's always kind of been an issue for me. Like I mentioned, truck driving, I'm in a car all day. So, gets pretty boring after a while for sure. And I just kind of feel like I kind of just eat a lot, like definitely more than I should be. And I think a lot of it kind of just stems from, when I get tired of driving around and I see a rest stop, I just kind of pull in and, take a little break, use a bathroom or whatever. And then there's always some sort of food. So, um, I don't know. I just, like I said, just kind of want to lose some weight. I think I need some tips on how to kind of break these kind of nasty habits that I've kind of formed over the years. So yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm here saying is that, you're driving a lot and you get pretty bored, so you have been just stopping a lot and getting a lot of food to kind of make the day go by a little faster.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely use food to kind of, you know, get my mind off the road a little bit. Just give me something else to do for a little bit.
Yeah,
Food's great. I love food, anyways. So.
yeah, that makes sense. Me too. I can definitely relate. So you said that you want to make this change, and you said that you've been struggling with weight for a while, and
Mhm.
that you've been eating a lot more than you feel that you should be. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that? What you usually eat?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it kind of feels like I can't seem to, drive by a rest stop without, having an urge to kind of just stop. Especially when it's like one of those longer days where I just am driving for hours and hours and hours, and I'm just like so, tired of it. And I still have to keep going and stuff. I might not even be hungry, but it's just kind of, I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna take a break, whether it's 20-minute break. I grab something to eat, even if I'm not hungry, and I'll just kind of sit in my truck, eat it, and get back on the road whenever I'm ready. I don't know. Typically, I stop and I get like, if I'm really hungry, I'll get like, kind of a couple large burgers. That obviously comes with fries, large set of fries. And I really enjoy soda. It also helps me just kind of stay awake and stay energized on the road when I'm, driving at night. But yeah, I just, no matter what, even if I'm telling myself I'm not hungry, I just kind of want to stop and eat food and grab something to eat. So I just don't really know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I know that when I'm traveling, I definitely make a lot of stops. And you mentioned that, it also helps you feel energized and stay awake. I'm sure it's really hard to stay awake when you're on the road so much and keep your focus. Um, and you mentioned that, even if you're not necessarily feeling hungry, you'll still stop.
Hmm.
How often would you say you usually stop at rest stops throughout the day when you're driving all day?
Rest stops kind of, they come by pretty frequently. I would say, there's at least a couple within every, 10, 20 miles or so. I wouldn't say I stop at every single one of them, but, depending on the day, depending how far I'm driving and my work assignments, I'll probably find myself stopping at, the rest stops, you know, in the mix of, my bathroom breaks and, just to get a quick, just to get food when I'm actually hungry. I'd probably stop between like within 24 hours, I would say maybe like 8 to 10 times I'll stop.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. So let's circle back to why you're here. So you said that you want to break these eating habits and you want weight loss. Is there anything that kind of sparked this desire to make a change?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just kind of have always had this issue. As of recently, I've been noticing, like, obviously, I've kind of been gaining a lot of weight. My clothes are definitely smaller than they used to be. I've been finding myself needing to buy more new clothes. So, and that obviously takes away the money that I spend, that I make in my salary. And then, the money I spend on new clothes plus the money that I spend at all the restaurants and fast food places, that I stop at when I don't need to. I obviously spend a lot of money that could definitely just be saved and used elsewhere. But I just don't know because I don't necessarily spend all my time at home, so I don't really know how to like also plan out meals and bring stuff or even if I just were to pick healthier eating habits when I go buy food at the grocery store or not the grocery store, the fast food restaurants or even the gas stations or such, like I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So you're saying, so you want to feel a little bit more comfortable in your clothes, and do you feel like you're spending a lot more money than you should be on food and buying new clothes to fit into, and that stresses you out because you don't want to feel that you're spending, all your money on food that's coming from your paycheck when you're not necessarily hungry.
Right.
That
Yeah.
sound about
Especially
right?
like, yeah, it's like, I'm spending all this money that doesn't necessarily need to be spent. And it's, I'm getting pretty frustrated with myself about it because I don't know what gets into me. I just kind of, stop even if I'm not hungry and I get food even if I'm not hungry. I just don't really get it.
So I sense you're feeling a little bit, out of control
Hmm.
and just kind of guilty about your eating habits lately.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And how long have you been a truck driver?
I've been a truck driver since I was 30, so I guess 17 years I've been a truck driver now.
Yeah, and have these eating habits always kind of came with the job, or is it a more recent thing?
Um, you know, Eating at like the gas stations and at the fast food restaurants that I come across definitely kind of comes with the job, I think. Especially because, there's not really anywhere that I can store food in the truck. And then, like I said, I'm not always home to pack food and, I don't really know how much food I can pack if I go on these long trips. So it does kind of come with the job, but I've definitely noticed over the years it's become way more, frequent and it's unnecessary.
So it started as being just kind of a convenient way to eat while you were on the road, and it turned into something more than just, eating because you're hungry. It turned into more eating for other reasons.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I would think I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned earlier that, it helps you because when you're feeling a little bit bored.
Yeah.
Would you say that's right? And is there any other emotions that you can, kind of link to when you feel like you're overeating or stopping because even though you're not hungry?
Yeah, definitely boredom is a big one. Like if I just get, tired or, need a little bit more focus, even if again, if I'm not hungry, I'll just stop and I'll grab like a soda or like a fry or something like that, or, a coffee or energy drink. And I guess, it's also just comforting, I just spend all my hours alone. So food just kind of keeps me company, makes me feel full, makes me kind of, gives me, makes me feel a little bit happier, gives me something to do. So again, aside from just truck driving and making these deliveries all day long. So yeah, I guess, boredom and a little bit of comfort in there and also just for energy and for to wake me up and get me, stretched out and stuff like that. Keep my
Yeah,
focus.
that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's very common. That's definitely really common for a lot of people to eat. We've all done it, when you're bored or lonely. It's definitely something that's comforting. How
Hmm.
would you say you feel after you're finished
Um,
eating?
Yeah, definitely after I finish eating, especially in the cases where I am not hungry, I'll eat and then I feel just like gross, like grossly full. Like I didn't need these calories and I just spent my money for what, it's like, and then afterwards I sit in my truck and I feel like all full and I feel gross. And then I have to make, more stops if I need to use a bathroom or something. And sometimes it can throw off my work schedule too, which, doesn't get me in trouble, but, my boss has definitely expressed some frustration a little bit because I've been late or so every now and then. So, um, you know, it definitely doesn't make me feel good, especially not anymore. It used to make me feel good because I guess I wasn't really eating to kind of fill my boredom and, fill a void of being around people. But yeah, it definitely doesn't make me feel that good.
Yeah. So I hear you saying a lot that, you feel really guilty about not only the calories, but also about the money that you're spending on it.
Hmm.
So that seems like it's one of your main concerns. I completely understand that, just you feel like you're wasting a lot of money, a lot of time, especially since it's impacting your work life now. It's making you a little bit later to work, and it's obvious that, your job's really important to you, and it takes up a lot of your life. So I can see how that would be really frustrating that it's starting to affect that. So given all these factors, how important would you say that it is for you to make this change in your life?
I think it's definitely pretty important. I'm kind of getting at that age where I know weight definitely kind of can impact my health and can kind of lead to other, kind of sort of illnesses or diseases or whatever. So I'm a little concerned about that too. I want to make sure that I can kind of, live for a long time and work for a long time. So, um, and I can't do that without money, and I can't do that without, kind of losing some pounds. So I guess it's pretty important to me. Yeah.
Yeah, how would you say on a scale from 1 to 10?
I would say probably like a 7 or an 8.
7. All right. And how confident do you feel in, making this change, or at least making steps towards this change in your life?
I definitely am feeling, pretty motivated to do it. I guess confidence I'm a little worried about, a little lacking in. I've never really done anything like this before. I've never really kind of tried any weight loss or anything like that. I know obviously, to eat healthier, you gotta eat less of the food that I'm eating. So, um, I guess I'm a little nervous about breaking my habits of like, the constant stopping and stuff. So I guess kind of, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I guess my confidence maybe like a little bit, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I can see how, since you haven't really tried anything in the past, that your confidence wouldn't be too high, but hopefully, through these sessions, we can work on getting your confidence up so you feel that, you can make this change in your life. Um, so you said you haven't tried anything before,
Hmm.
and you mentioned that, you know, you kind of came here looking for some tips on how to change your eating habits. What do you think that what do you think needs to be done in order to do that?
Well, I definitely think, I just gotta stop stopping at all these gas stations and these fast food places definitely more than I need to. I definitely need to stop, to use the bathroom and get gas and stuff for the truck and obviously eat. But those times where I just stop and eat to just to eat, I definitely think I need to kind of break that, like repetitive habit and kind of find maybe some other way. I know it's hard because I'm on the road all the time, but find some other way to kind of keep myself entertained so I'm not like bored and I have this urge to stop. So,
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure it's so hard. I've driven, long distances before, and I definitely will stop a bunch, and it's really easy, and it's definitely, you've been doing it for so long that it's hard to break the habit, and it's kind of a part of your life. So I can understand the frustration, but it seems like you really want to make this change, not only for yourself and your weight, but also because, you mentioned that you are spending a lot of money on food that, you don't really necessarily need to be spending, and you want it to, you mentioned that it helps you kind of stay energized,
mhm.
but also, you're overeating, so in the end, you're not really feeling that energy anyways. You're kind of feeling full and sluggish, you mentioned. Does that sound
Right.
about right?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely notice, when I do feel full, not only do I feel like kind of just like overstuffed, but like you said, I just feel kind of like tired too. It makes me, yeah, it definitely makes me more tired than it would make me feel awake.
Yeah. So even when you are stopping, you do feel like you're pushing your limit and kind of eating more than you need to.
Right. Yeah. And I just feel uncomfortable. And then the rest of the drive, I either have to stop a bunch of times to use the bathroom or, just feel gross.
Yeah. So you mentioned a lot of reasons, that you want to make this change. You mentioned, the money issue. You mentioned it's affecting your work life. Your clothes aren't fitting as they used to. So definitely a lot of reasons that you want to make this change. What do you think is the most important reason, the most important factor that's, you know, made you want to make this change and that's motivating you?
I guess the most important thing to me would be, I'm definitely worried about my health. Definitely notice a weight gain. Um, so I guess, money will always come back, but, you only get one life. So I guess definitely, my own health is probably just definitely a big factor and one of my, I'm more concerned about that for sure.
Yeah, is there anything specifically you're concerned about? Have you, you know, had any previous education on how your diet can affect your health, or is there something in your family history that scares you?
Yeah, well, my father died from heart failure, so that's definitely scary. And he was also, diabetic, and just kind of growing up in that environment where he wasn't really eating healthy. I guess it kind of rubbed off on me a little bit too. So, so I guess that kind of worries me. I know, habits definitely can rub off. So I'm definitely older, but I'm still in the dating game, so if I ever find Mrs. Right, who knows? I don't want to, come off, as if I don't care about myself. I definitely do care about myself and my health. So, yeah, I guess I just am afraid that if I continue with the way I'm going, that my life could definitely fall short, and I could get really sick.
Yeah, so you're a little worried because you've seen your father have to deal with all these health issues, and you don't want to end up like him, but you feel like you have these habits, for so long
Hmm.
since you were younger, so it's going to be pretty hard to break them, and you're worried that you're going to end up like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I feel like I learned a lot about you. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, setting some goals.
Okay.
What do you? We can brainstorm together, but I want you to kind of tell me some small goals that you think you would be able to do. And if you need any ideas, I can help you out. Um,
Okay. I guess, I definitely want to eat better. I definitely know, getting 2 to 3 large burgers is definitely probably not the best thing. And the fries and the soda. Um, but that's kind of what I just kind of tend to gravitate towards. I'm not really picky, so I don't really have, I enjoy, the greens foods and stuff. So I definitely think I could, maybe try to branch out and try some of those foods. I'm a little bit worried because I feel like sometimes they tend to be either just as expensive or maybe sometimes like more expensive. So I guess that's like kind of a concern. And then I also, definitely want to drop some pounds if possible. I weigh like 240 right now. Definitely kind of want to get down to, I don't know how long it would take, but maybe get down to like the 200 range if possible.
yeah,
Um, but I guess those are two kind of, some smaller goals that I have.
yeah. So, overall, you want to see some weight loss,
Mhm.
obviously, and then you did mention the money again. So how much would you say you usually spend per day on food when you're out?
Yeah, so I guess depending on, like I said, the hours and the trip, I can probably spend anywhere from like 50 to 100 bucks a day on food
Yeah.
and like beverages and energy drinks and stuff.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that um, you feel like you're kind of eating what you feel to be an excessive amount. So, maybe portion size is another area of concern for you.
Yeah,
Not necessarily just the food, but the amount also of food.
yeah, definitely.
All right. And then you said that you're not really a picky eater, but you gravitate more towards the fast food, and obviously that's what's available to you when you're on the road.
Yeah, like McDonald's has salads and stuff, but when I see a Big Mac, I really want a Big Mac.
Yeah, Big Macs are definitely good. So back to what you were saying about, you said you were feeling pretty guilty about eating when you're not hungry. So
Yeah,
maybe that's a good place to start, focusing on maybe something else you can do instead of, you definitely, it seems, as anyone would, you need to stop, stretch your legs, take a little break.
right.
Um, is there anything else, at the rest stops? Like, um, I know it's summertime, it's nice out, you could maybe sit outside for a little while.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, no, some of the rest stops, they definitely have little seating areas. Um, I probably could just sit out there and maybe just kind of like, maybe go on my phone or play some sort of phone game or something, check some emails or whatever. They also have like little like bathroom areas. Maybe I could just, rinse my face off or something, kind of wake myself up a little bit more that way rather than, trying to stuff my face with food. Just kind of rinse it off with cold water or something. Um, yeah, I think that could be, that could be something.
Yeah, so we can keep brainstorming some more ideas. You mentioned, you know, you are driving a lot. You're driving about 24 hours. You're not home and you don't really know how to kind of prepare meals or pack food. When you're driving, do you usually have like a cooler or anything? I know that you usually stop a lot, but is that, something that maybe you've seen other people do in your profession, or have you noticed
I
anything anyone
do,
else has been doing?
yeah, I do own a cooler. That's actually something I didn't even really think about. Maybe I could like, if I do have a busy schedule ahead of me, maybe I could just pack some, you know, put some ice in there and pack some, obviously like regular home food. Um, but would it be like should I just pack like salads? Like I don't really know how long those like last and how long they
Yeah.
how they be good for and stuff.
So I mean, there's plenty of options besides, just a salad. I mean, in a cooler, a salad would probably be fine. If you want to, branch out to other options, I mean, you can always even just pack a sandwich
Okay.
or even, some snacks. I know that, you know, just so that you aren't necessarily stopping and having to go in and see all the fast food, maybe that would help,
Yeah, maybe just
starting
bringing more
small.
snacks. Yeah.
And that way you'll at least have something on you. Um, I don't know. Do you feel like that would help you, or do you feel like that would maybe make things worse for you?
I think no, I think definitely having kind of like a quick maybe if I am like really just again I'm not really super hungry but I'm really just kind of fighting the urge to just stop just to stop. Um, Maybe I could just kind of quickly just grab like a quick little snack from the cooler and maybe that'll just kind of it'll kind of fulfill the need of like wanting to eat and but it'll kind of stop me from obviously making the stop and being around those foods that kind of make me just want to eat them. So yeah, I think that'd be actually a really great idea. Yeah, definitely.
You also said that you've been stopping about 7 or 8 times a day.
Hmm.
And how long do you usually spend at each of those stops?
Um, I typically spend, even for like bathroom breaks and gas and stuff, I'll probably spend between like 20 and 30 minutes maybe stopping.
Stop. So you're spending a pretty good amount of time, at these stops.
Hmm.
Have you considered maybe, here's just an option. I don't know if this would really work for your schedule or your job, but maybe stopping less frequently and then maybe stopping somewhere for a little bit longer and going to you're traveling to a lot of different places, maybe going to see an attraction or going to see something.
Yeah, I think actually that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe just stopping less frequently and just maybe stopping, for a longer period of time at each just to kind of, cut back the amount of time that I do stop. I think that could work too. Yeah. And and maybe it'll stop me from also kind of wanting to excessively just, stop because I've already spent so much time, getting gas the first time that I won't want to have to stop again because I've already, I don't want to say wasted so much time, but, stopped for such a long amount of time.
Yeah. So you mentioned that, it was impacting your work life just stopping for so long. And yeah, so if you feel like maybe you had something to look forward to, towards the
Yeah.
end of your trip, if you could just stop somewhere and hang out for a little while. You mentioned you like to play phone games. Is there anything else you like to do? Any hobbies, or do you enjoy playing phone games?
Yeah, phone games are fun. I got Candy Crush. I'm like a level 47, so
Wow.
I'm pretty good at it. But I do enjoy, reading the newspaper and, just like, catching up on stuff. So and I also like music, so obviously I have the music playing in the truck a lot of the time. So
Yeah. So you just feel like food is just that extra little bit of comfort that you need, though,
yeah,
to get you
it's
through.
just something to do for me. Yeah, it's something to do.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that you probably don't interact with other people a lot on the road. Do you have, I know that there's like certain truck stops. Do you usually talk to any of the other people that are there or the other truck drivers?
Yeah, actually, I have kind of like an intercom radio that I kind of just talk to, whoever's around, and we just kind of shoot the shit, I guess, with each other. We just kind of, talk and whatever, even if I don't know them. So I guess that's kind of fun here and there. It's not a constant thing, but every day or so, people get on there and they'll talk and stuff like that. Yeah. So I guess
Yeah, that's fun.
that's pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to kind of stay communicated to other people that are, in the same situation. And maybe, if this is a concern, you could even bring it up to someone else who's in the same situation as you and just kind of branch out and see what other people may be doing, or, the kind of habits that they have, and maybe you can get some ideas that way.
Yeah, that'd be great, I think. Yeah, especially since they don't have to really see me. I don't really have to if they're an ass, I can just kind of hang up on them maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's the ideal form of communication. I understand. All right, so we've mentioned a lot of ideas, and out of all these ideas, I think that we should really narrow it down. You're going to pick two goals
Okay.
that you think are achievable within, we're going to meet again in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So something that, keep it small. We're going to start pretty small and we're going to work way up to some bigger goals. And, so just pick two goals that you think that you can make that change relatively soon.
Okay, well, I definitely, for one, I really like the cooler idea, so I think I'll definitely try to, you know, pack a cooler with me, especially because ice I can get at those gas stations. So if I need ice,
Oh yeah,
I'll just kind of
I
grab a
didn't,
bag if I need it. If I
I didn't
need
even think
more,
about that. That's a perfect. That's
yeah,
perfect because then you can just keep things cool no matter what.
right, yeah. So I guess I'll definitely do that, and I'll try to pack some snacks and stuff like that. And then I think another goal probably, maybe I'll just try to start off by, because since I'll have my cooler and stuff, I won't want to stop as often, but maybe I'll just try to stop for, if I'm really, you know, needing a stretch and really need to wake up, maybe I'll just try to plan out like, okay, like I need to get gas in, 20 miles and I could use the bathroom then. And, maybe I'll just take a stretch and take a break there. So maybe I'll just kind of, like you said, like the less frequent stops, but, the longer stops, but the less amount of times that I do stops, maybe I'll try to do that too.
All right, so back to the first goal. So you said you wanted to bring the cooler with the ice and pack some snacks. How many days a week do you feel that you would, have the time and to do that? And how?
Well, I'm home at least, 2 or 3 nights of the week. I find myself back at home before I have to get back on the road. So I definitely think I'll be able to pack some stuff each time I'm home. And if not, like I could probably just get some snacks at the gas station too, and kind of and refill them that way. Um, yeah. So I guess I'll try to do it. Maybe 3, 4 times. I'll just try to bring the cooler with me, and keep it kind of refilled.
Yeah. So do you want to try, 3 times a week? For now, we'll just start off and say 3 times a week. You'll bring the cooler, and maybe, you can bring a sandwich and a few
Okay.
other things, and just kind of see how it goes. And then you said that you wanted to maybe try taking a longer break and kind of enjoying that break, and
Yeah.
doing some other things instead of just stopping for food, and you know kind of
Right.
making that the reason you're stopping, maybe making it something else.
Yeah, like you said, like maybe make it something to look forward to rather than something that I just kind of treat myself with all the time. So yeah, maybe I'll just, like you said, just stop less frequent and for longer time.
Yeah, so how often do you want to just try that out, or do you want to maybe do it
I
once a
mean,
week?
I think I think I'll try it. I'll try it out, see how it kind of goes. Obviously, I don't know if I can do it right off the bat, but I definitely think that's something that I can work towards because it's kind of tricky to plan out, when I need gas. And obviously, I can't plan when I need to use the bathroom and stuff. But um, maybe in those instances, I can try to, when I do get gas, I'll just use the bathroom anyways. So that way I don't really have to stop again, except for a separate time. So I guess maybe, yeah, I think I'll definitely try it out. Maybe at least like if it works for me and it saves me time and money, then I definitely think I'll try to do it again. So,
Yeah.
maybe like I'll try to do it every day if I can.
Have you considered, so when you stop, do you usually stop at, it's like a gas station and it's, restaurants? Have you
Yeah.
considered maybe trying stopping at, just a regular gas station
Yeah, I mean, I could do that too. Like there are, obviously stops for, just them. Yeah, a lot of the times they typically the rest stop.
and a restroom?
Rest stop. Yeah, yeah, they'll have, the fast food and the gas, but there are the just those restroom gas station type combos. So I could definitely try to just kind of steer myself towards just those ones.
Yeah, so out of the last two options that we mentioned, either not stopping so frequently, or, and saving up that one long stop, or, just trying to make some of the stops just for gas and using the restroom, which one do you think you're more confident in achieving?
Probably the gas station and the rest stop one. Yeah, probably that one.
Yeah, so, just maybe, so you said you stop usually 7 or 8 times a day. Maybe you can start out by making two of those stops. You can try making two of those stops, if you have to get gas and go to the restroom,
Okay.
maybe just doing that. How do you feel
Okay.
about that?
I think that's a good start. Yeah, for sure.
And how confident on a scale from 1 to 10 do you feel like you can make that change?
I think I definitely could make that change. Yeah, I think definitely probably like an 8 or 9. I think I could do that for sure.
Yeah, that's really awesome. All right, so would you say, maybe you can start out trying that a few times a week?
Yeah, yeah. I think every time I get on the road, I can definitely try to do that.
Yeah, all right, so let's say 3 times a week. And, I think these are really great goals, and I think that we're off to a good start. I think I learned a lot about you this session, and, kind of your relationship with food. And I think you did a really great job expressing yourself and kind of realizing those emotions that accompany along with, getting the food, and recognizing that it may not be about hunger.
Hmm.
I think you should definitely stay aware of those feelings and emotions, and, think about it to yourself, why do I want to stop? Am I actually hungry, or is it because of something else? And
Okay.
just kind of even write it down how you're feeling, or, just actively pay attention to it. But I think that you've set some really great goals for yourself this session. And next session in 3 weeks, we can kind of follow up with that and see how you're doing, see how you're feeling. If it's not working out, we can always make some adjustments and, pick a different goal
Okay.
until we find what's right. And then, yeah, so I think that sounds good?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Thank you for meeting with me. It's great to get to know you.
Yeah, you too. No problem. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Sounds good.